Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.
Jan, many congratulations. Through to round 4. You must be really happy with that.
Yeah, very much so. You know, I think everyone who looked at this game, they will notice I wasn't as comfortable as the previous 2 games, but still to average 98, good double percentage. I'm really happy to get through.
I was going to say 57% in the doubles and 98 average, just shy of. It's another strong performance. You must be really happy with how you're performing up there.
Yeah, but yeah, as I said in the previous question, I didn't feel really comfortable up there. My darts weren't landing in a correct angle as I wanted to, so that was a bit frustrating. But yeah, as you said too, you know, when I got 3-0 up, I looked at on the left screen and I saw I was everything 98, 102, 103 in the sets, and I was like, oh, it didn't feel that good. But I think that's really benefit for my game as well. When it doesn't feel as great as you wanted to, still average 98. That's really positive.
After that massive European Championship win you got earlier on in the year, your big stage game seems to have improved quite a lot. You know, you said you were able to hit those high pressure moments after that 100 checkout to win it, for example. Is your confidence right now at a really good stage in your career right now in this tournament?
100%. I think after the European Championship win, my confidence is through the roof. Even though the Grand Slam, I didn't make it through the group stage, but I still played well. You know, won 2 out of 3 games. Played championship finals, beat Luke Humphries. Then I lost to Christopher Tyski in a very good game. So even though my results after that weren't as great, I still played well, and that's what I took out of those games. I'm really confident in my own game. The first 3 rounds here at the Pally, I didn't average below 98, so I'm really looking forward to the last 16 and feeling confident, and who knows what can happen.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Jan, huge congratulations.
Thank you, Phil.
The rankings is an interesting one now. Stephen Bunting obviously out of the tournament. You and Johnny Clayton are now homing in on that 4th spot. Are you pinching yourselves that you could be 4th in the world in a few days' time from where you were to where you are now?
Yes and no. If it happens, I'll pinch myself. It was like, wake up, this is a dream, you know, because like 12 months ago it was number 27 and 28 in the world coming into the World Championship, and it's gone so quick this year. So maybe in that sense I'm pinching myself, but I'm not looking at the rankings. You know, I say I'm not looking at. I know exactly where I am and who I've overtaken this game, but you know, I don't bother about the rankings. You know, I'm just taking it game by game. The ranking is very important, but I think the World Championship is even more important. So I'm focusing on my game after game. But yeah, if I win one more game, I know I'll overtake Stephen Bunting. So I'm going to pinch myself. Yeah.
After you went 3-0 up, did you switch off a little bit and think it was job done? Because at that point, there wasn't an awful lot coming back at you. You were almost in cruise control. Were you guilty of switching off a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, the first 3, especially the first 2 sets, my darts weren't landing in the board as the way I wanted to. They were, instead of landing flat, they were a bit upright, so I couldn't make use of my first dart when it was into trouble. So I didn't hit as many 180s as I wanted to, or 140s even. So I was, in my head, of course, I was 3-0 up, but in my head, I was like just trying to hold my dart a bit differently so I can make use of my dart. They were landing a bit more flat as I wanted to, but then I was probably overthinking, and that set I played rubbish. So Madas took that set fair and square, and after that set, you know, I walked off stage like, okay, don't overthink it. Just even though your darts aren't landing in the way you wanted to, just hit, instead of 180s, just hit 174s or 171s. Who cares? And just hit as many triples as you can, and that's what I did in the final set. And you know, I played well in the final set, and happy to get the job done.
You've won a major this year, provisionally top 6 in the world, playing really well here. Do you feel one of the elite players in the world right now?
Good question. No, I don't feel like one of the elite players. I know everyone projected me as probably a 3rd or 4th favourite, according to the bookies, to win the World Championship. But you know, before this tournament, I didn't even win a game ever here. So I threw that straight out of the window. And you know, there's so many great players still in this tournament, and even out of this tournament, so many good players. So it still feels weird to me. And you know, 2 questions ago you asked me to pinch myself. I'm still pinching myself to even be number 6 in the world, and that's where I am right now. So I need to start believing in it, and so it's difficult. But you know, if I keep playing the way I do today in the past 12 months, then yeah, I'm part of the great group in the world right now. Thank you.
Jan, well done.
Thank you.
Talk about that sort of expectation and being high in the betting odds and things like that. We see what it's like over here in the UK. I'm just wondering what the expectations like on yourself back home in the Netherlands.
It's difficult, you know. Of course, in the Netherlands, you always got Michael van Gerwen, but in the Netherlands, we're looking for a guy who's right behind Michael. You know, Michael is of course the number one, but he hasn't performed as well as everyone hoped in the last couple of years. So everyone in the Netherlands is looking for a number two. But we got great players like Jermaine Watsamina, Dirk van Duivenbode, Danny Noppert, but now myself as well. And I've shown that this tournament that I can be the number two of the Netherlands, overtaking Danny Noppert in the rankings now. So I'm number two in the Netherlands right now. But you know, it's a huge amount of pressure on myself and on Michael. But Michael is used to it because he's got this pressure for many years in the past couple of years. But it's new for me. But I'm dealing with it well so far. So I'm happy to do it.
Have you spoken to anyone about dealing with that pressure, whether it be Michael or be anybody? Or?
Not to Michael, no. I got a mental coach back home, which I've spoken to about pressure from being the number two in Holland, but also pressure with, I don't want to mention it, but pressure with Premier League, stuff like that, and it's just people expecting more of you. So I've spoken to him about that, and this really worked for me, and that's probably why I'm still left in this tournament. Thank you.
Hi, Gian, well done on that win.
Thank you.
Just on the mental coach there, when did you start talking to that person?
About 2 years ago, I reckon, or 1.5 years ago. So I've spoken to him, I think, about start of 2024, back end of 2023. So it's not something I've been doing since I'm really shooting up the rankings. But he's really working for me, and he's really someone I can explain my story to. You know, he follows the dart, of course, but he's always he's got a background in a top sport as a football player, so he knows what it's like to be to put the pressure on you. Yeah, I'm really happy with him.
You was talking about over in your home country, sort of Michael van Gerwen absorbs a lot of that pressure. Do you think that helps? Because compare it to Germany, whereas they've been looking for a superstar, and they thought they had it in Max Hopp, then he went away, then it was Clemens, and now Schindler. So they've been looking for it and almost put more pressure on. Whereas in the Netherlands, it's kind of always been Michael for a long time.
100%. You know, I think for me, as a Dutchman, I'm in the shadow of Michael van Gerwen. As a young player shooting up the rankings, I'm in the shadow of Luke Littler. So for me, it's 100%. It's a help that I'm in the shadow of someone. If it would have been German, it would have been very difficult, because now, as you said, Martin Schindler, you had Max Hopp, you have now Gabriel Clemens, you have Nico Springer, of course, shooting up the rankings. So for me, it's really helpful to be in the shadow of Michael van Gerwen. I'm number two of the Netherlands right now, but not all the pressure is on me. Everyone's looking at what Michael's doing. I'm just in his shadows. So yeah, that's really helped.
Would you like to break out of that shadow, or does it suit you being in there?
Of course, I would like to break out of that shadow, because you know, as a human being, you want to be the world number one, you want to be the Dutch number one, you want to be the world champion. But for now, without being that kind of player, I really like to be in the shadows, and as long as that keeps happening, then it's good. But yeah, of course, if I win this tournament, who knows? Then I'll step out of that shadow, and I won't be complaining.
Thank you, Gian. Well played today.
Cheers, Connor.
Congratulations, Jan. You said in your onstage interview that at 3-0 up you were guilty of thinking that you'd already won the match.
Yeah.
Are these just all part and parcel of new experiences here, having, you know, only just won your first match here this year?
Yeah, for sure. You know, before this tournament, I hadn't even won a game in set format in my whole career. You know, I hadn't won a game here. I hadn't won a game at the World Grand Prix. So set format was really difficult for myself. Won my first game, then a second game, and now 3-0 up. In my head, I was like, okay, you're already there. Just 3 more good legs, and then you're through. And in the fourth set, I was dreadful. So that in my head, I was like, okay, you need to regroup. You need to refocus and get your I didn't say that. And you need to get your stuff together. That's good? Yeah? Good, thank you. And you need to get your stuff together. So for the fifth set. And that's what I did in the end. And it was tricky, but I think that comes with experience. Of course, I'm world number 6 at the moment, but I'm still learning. I'm still experiencing new stuff. First time through to the last 16, I'm really enjoying my life.
And do you draw on the experience of winning the European Championship to help you get through certain pressure moments?
Yeah, for sure. I said it after that game, I'm going to say it many more times. Because I've won that last exciting leg against Humphreys, to win that game with the 100 checkout, if I would have missed that double 16, I would have lost that game. I wouldn't have won my first major title. To hit that deciding checkout, the deciding dart on that high pressure moment, it gave me so much confidence going through all the rest of the tournaments. Even here, I know if it's going to be a tie game, I know I can do it under that high pressure. So that's what I did today as well.
And with you being now 4 wins away from lifting the trophy, do you start to dream now? Does it start to come into view?
No, not really. You say it 4 wins away, but it feels like a long time away. It's 4 wins away, but 4 really long games and very difficult games. I'm just going to take it game by game. I've won 3 now. I'm really happy with that. I'm really looking forward to the next game. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to take it game by game and don't look at anything else but the last 16 game.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And who do you think is your idol, Michael van Gerwen?
My idol?
Yeah.
In this sport, my idol is Gary Anderson. So I saw him play this afternoon against Jermaine Wattamina. It was a really good game. Jermaine, he really fought back into this game, but Gary stuck it at the end. But, of course, being Dutchman, as I said, Gary Anderson is my idol, but as being a Dutchman, always wanted to do Michael van Gerwen to do really well in this tournament. He's still in. He's going to play tonight, and I'm really rooting for him.
Okay, by the way, who do you think is your most tough opponent this time?
For me?
Yeah.
Luke Littler. It's. I think everyone who will say any different answer is lying. We saw Luke Littler play yesterday. He averaged 107. But lucky for me, I don't play him until the final. So if I get to the final and play him, I'm really happy. My World Championship is already a success. So then I can relax into that game. But that's the most tricky opponent for everyone.
What was the most positive, do you think, from the performance tonight? And what do you feel still need improving?
My most positive thing is to not feel 100% comfortable on that stage and to just still win the game with a good performance, like with a 98 performance, because 98 average. Because as I said, I didn't feel really comfortable. My darts weren't landing in the way I wanted to, but to still average 98, to still get a convincing win, that's the most positive thing I take from this game. But the most learning curve I can take from this game is to get my game together for the next game, to practice really well, to get my darts landing in the way I wanted to for the next game. Because if they do, then I can use them. So that was a bit tricky today, but luckily I got the job done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.
To change your